6. Dive comp can work. Again, I forget what the other map choice was, but for Runaway to pick Route 66, I think is a little risky. Because if there's ever a map that I think the Winston Diva stuff can work, it's probably this one, at least for the first 2 points. But generally, I don't think you can run Winston on the last point of this map. Are there black bars here the entire time, or is this new?
Kaiser giving you the clap, you know.
Oh, I don't know if we want that. That's
Them fangirls, though.
You can just show us the great earth shatters. Read into that what you will. Runaway.
Kaiser versus Miro. Round 4.
And we'll see if it would be interesting to see them run a ferry here.
So Lunatic have defense first. Interesting that they're running Zumba 76.
It's definitely a great way.
This is a new thing. Zumba was on a lot of heroes this series, and I don't know why. I feel like Lunatic came up with a lot of new strategies or just different things that they never. Alright, never mind. No, he's still on it, so he's gonna stay. But yeah, I think Lunatic came up with a few too many different strategies. I don't know why you wouldn't just run the Diva here. If it's been working for you, I think it's completely fine on this map. I'm struggling to understand why the 76 would be preferable unless they expect something from Runaway, like maybe they know that this Pharah might come out and they're just preemptively countering it, which is fine. But if that's the case, then that's the case, right? And Runaway is running a different comp too. They're running triple tank Genji. It looks like they're gonna go for the spawn camp fight. I guess if you're going for the spawn camp. So Haxel actually switches back to the Genji now, no Pharah. Instant kill on Bumper is huge. Obi's dead already. Now it's just a brawl. Miro and Eska are getting kills though, which I think is good. Yeah, Eska kills Runner and Kaiser, and then Zumba kills Haxel. So that fight looked like it was going to be a lot worse for Lunatic, but I think Eska definitely clutched or cleaned up very well there. Getting the 2K at the end gives his team enough time to get back. So now they're going to back up. They definitely have to respect this hook, and if that hook goes out, this game is very different, I think. But Miro's just kind of delaying the cart. Eska gets killed by Haxel somehow. Massive hook from Bumper. This fight should be okay. Although, again, they're abusing the cart mechanic of stall like so hard right now with Miro. Miro's just suiciding on the point all the time and just making this cart not move so much. And who are you, Dragon Blades? Who are you keeps popping these YOLO Dragon Blades? I think he gets them super fast, so he thinks that there's no response, which realistically there was no response. Like, Runaway hasn't built any ults, so it's not the worst idea, but he needs to get healed first. If he does that at full health, the results are much better, but Bumper's Roadhog here has been pretty good. Eska going for the sneak around. Has Pulse Bomb. Needs to hit this. He panics a little hard there. I don't know why he panics so hard. That should have been a free kill, honestly. But since he doesn't get that kill, Cox dies, but he gets the nano boost off. I don't even know if Cox had the nano boost by the time that Pulse Bomb was started, so slight mistake from Eska. Again, his Pulse Bombs weren't really that good the entire night, but he's been kind of invisible for the past couple maps, but I guess that has a lot to do with the fact that it was Hollywood and Polskaya. So they're going to cap off that. I honestly think that they would have held if that Pulse Bomb hits, but it's okay. Jaehong didn't have to pop his ult. Miro hasn't gotten Primal yet, it looks like. Or Miro just used Primal, I lied. I knew that. So now this is where it gets scary, because Runaway has the Shatter. So unless they get an entry frag right now on Lunatic, which they do, I don't know why Stitch dies here, or how he even gets in position to die here, but again, Miro is just playing Winston on the cart, and as long as he doesn't die, that's a crazy hook. Just got hooked through the door and dies. Super unfortunate. Whoever needs to get this Nano Blade right now, but he's only at 80%, so we'll see if they try to stall this out. No, Miro's kind of awkward. I think Lunatic is making a little bit of a mistake here and not committing a little bit harder. Like, they nano boost Zumba here, but he didn't even have a good angle, and then they react, I mean, pretty accordingly on Runaway. They just pop Sound Barrier, but I think that they need to do that earlier, and I think they need to do it with the Genji instead of the 76. I don't agree with the decision to Nano boost to 76 there. I think the Genji would have got a lot more value. Now they're just kind of dying one by one, but the cart's still moving. Like, nobody's contesting right now. Now it's finally contested. Times two, times two. Cart's still moving. Toby's gonna die late. Cart's still moving. So they're getting a lot of space here. And they have Nano Blade now on Runaway, which is a big deal. Zumba switches to the Diva. Now they're back on their normal composition, which I think they should have been running the whole time. Because they kind of deviated from the plan here. Lunatic. They start nano boosting Toby, or not Toby, Zumba and stuff instead of Who Are You, and it's starting to hurt them. Or it's like very visibly hurting them. Because I don't think they're used to running this composition. So now they're just reverting, but it's kind of late. That said though, Lunatic is doing a very good job of stalling the cart right now. If Miro can get out here and pop Primal and Jaehong can get his ult off, it'll be a big deal, but Stitch has attack visor and he's just kind of setting up for it. And Runner's actually close to the sound barrier again, so this should be a pretty easy fight, I think, for Runaway. Yeah, he's uncontested. Jaehong nano's Miro here, but I mean, what's Miro gonna do? He doesn't want to prep Primal there. Yeah, I don't really like Lunatic High's plan here. Like, this looks very sloppy from them, this entire defense. They just suicide, 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 but none of these nano boosts have actually accomplished anything, and I don't know what the plan was for them. Like, they nano boosted Miro there, but Miro didn't contest the card. He went straight for the 76, but the 76 already popped visor and was getting killed, so there wasn't really any win condition here. Now Miro switches to Reinhardt, which I really like, but this bumper hog is so good. I think Roadhog's incredible on this point. And even just for this reason, like, he just completely shreds the shield. This fight should be fine for them. Late sound barrier from Runner doesn't save bumper. If it saved bumper, probably would have been fine, but it doesn't, so let's go just running around. Yeah, Runner's barriers, meh.
It doesn't really matter if you lose one right there, or if you lose a couple more. It's better to have that sound barrier for subsequent pushes, especially for the end of that push. Yes. I mean, odds are so far away right now, you're going to have to use one sound barrier before you get there anyway.
But I do like Runaway's composition. I just like the idea of the Roadhog, just because it's so good against what Lunatic High runs. I think it's a mistake, honestly, that they didn't run it sooner. I mean, I didn't really mention it because I think Runaway has a very unique playstyle. Like, Bumper's not generally on the Roadhog, but conceptually, Miro's generally on Winston, and Zumba also either on Zarya or on Diva. So Roadhog should seem like the natural, or like the obvious idea, or the obvious choice to run against this. That's unfortunate. Bumper kills Jaehong with the hook. Stitch gets nothing. Who Are You kills Kaiser. This fight, I mean, it's still favoring defense, I think, but only because of the positioning. Stitch needed to get a little bit more value out of that. They're pushing him into spawn now. But going for the crouch spam. Is he gonna live? I don't remember. He does live. So Jaehong almost has nano boost. This is dicey for Runaway because they don't really have much, but they're gonna have Graviton, nano boost. I hope that they don't pop both. I don't remember if they pop both. I'm just kind of hiding here. They should just nano boost Zumba right now though and just go for it. Although at the same time, do you really need to? No. They nano boost the Genji? What they nano boost? I wish it was easier to see. Who Are You got evaporated, so I'm going to assume that they nano boosted Who Are You. But the timing was really off there. I think Zumba should have popped that way earlier, or Jaehong should have popped that way earlier. Because now they just wasted Graviton, Nano Blade, and somehow it got instantly countered. I mean, Runner's sound barrier was really well timed, and somehow they're winning this though. I think that charge from Miro was super clutch. I think if Axel had gotten the Dragon Blade off, or they had gotten a few more kills, that fight would have been 100% in Runaway's favor. But Lunatic High, I mean, they expended a lot. At the end of the day, they did pop sound barrier, they popped Nano Boost, they popped Dragon Blade, they shattered. Toby gets off Lucio, goes Zen, they want more damage, I guess because they have 3 tanks on the side of Runaway. Big kill from Eska actually here. He needs to get this pulse bomb off. He chokes on these pulse bombs so hard. He needs to just take his time. Big shatter from Kaiser here. Now it's just a brawl. Although it's a brawl, definitely favoring Runaway. Is Toby on Roadhog? No, he's on Zen.
Still moving. Here comes Miro again. Can he stop them? They gotta get this kill now.
I mean, they should be able to stall it out. Stitch nearly gets Eska right.
Surprised Stitch hasn't popped Visor yet.
He's looking
There it is.
attack visor does hit Eska.
Oh, big tag visor for Stitch already. Tons of damage.
Toby comes up on Bastion for some reason. Just like whatever.
No follow-up. Zumba clinging to life. He dies, and now Toby on the Bastion before he's knocked to
Cox comes back as Diva appropriately. Well played.
all 3 points on Route 66.
Crucial coming into that last point to actually
Yeah, no, that defense was super sloppy from Lunatic High though. A lot of their ults got nothing accomplished, and I think it just has a lot to do with them playing different compositions that they're not super comfortable with. I mean, even in their last round, the round of 4 match with Meta Athena, they kind of threw around some crazy strategies. Like, they ran Zenyatta the entire time on Jaehong, and they almost lost, honestly. And that would have been an elimination match, which would have been really bad. So I'm glad they're not running that anymore, but you can tell that they're trying new things, but they're not comfortable on it. I'm not going to call them one tricks, but they're pretty one-dimensional in their strategy. I mean, I guess Runaway is the same way. They both have very unique playstyles, but I would say that Runaway's playstyle probably counters Lunatic High's in a way. But Lunatic High plays theirs a little bit cleaner, but when they try this crazy stuff to try to make up for it, it doesn't work out.
Not surprise me.
Runaway has used it defensively before.
Maybe another triple DPS though.
It certainly seems that way.
Oh yeah, we are going to see it perhaps. Kaiser on the Winston. I thought they'd go for a more standard defense on top of big.
Composition's weird. Like defensive
And only the healing from
single healer Lucio defense? This isn't a thing.
That's pretty dangerous. Or even having a
I don't think this is a thing.
Yeah, normally you have characters that can self-heal or provide a little bit of healing for your teammates. Yeah. But they don't even have that. So this is a very all-in defense for Runaway.
They should get seen by the Sonic Arrow here as long as Lunatic High is smart about placing it. They could shoot the train car instead.
I mean, they're very all in on the first fight, so I'm not really sure.
Top level on the left-hand side where Runaway actually is. They are going to be seen.
They're going to get spotted. Jaehong knows where to put that arrow. And yep, sees him. All right, and Runaway. They know they're spotted. They're going in now anyway.
That is a very aggressive attack, but they're going to try to get the big. Sunba dies nearly instantly.
Wow, what a kill.
Jaehong kills Haxel.
Tries to keep the pressure off.
Cox has no healing. Jaehong kills Cox. I don't. This is super clowny to me. Look at Jaehong, man. 3K. Stitch falls off the map. Now the snowball should be real.
Let's be real though. If Lunatic High wins this based on Jaehong's play already, he's almost destined to get MVP with the sleep darts he's been hitting tonight.
Oh, he's my MVP for sure.
That comp was ballsy. I'm not sure what the thought process was. Who are you kills Cox somehow? That's insane. Cox completely out of position. Shouldn't have pushed up at all without the Reinhardt. Good punish. Good punish. I mean, who are you just bullying Stitch? They have to wait for both of them now, or at least the Ana. Only you can re-engage her without the Ana, and the Ana only has 9% nano boost. At the same time, Lunatic doesn't really have that many ults because they won the fight so handily, and who are you just getting these ults by himself? Kaiser pins Eska. That can't happen. That shouldn't happen. Who are you kills Kaiser though? He's gonna go for this Nano, or this Dragon Blade rather. Somehow, everyone's dying in the background though to Bumper and Haxel. Eska can't die there. That's actually so bad. I think Stitch just did a lot of damage and then Haxel cleaned it up. But Eska getting pinched and then who are you also not getting much out of the Dragon Blade was really bad for them. That pin was pretty point winning anyway, or at least like salvaging. Because they didn't have to use ults for that. It's not like they had any. But they won the fight anyway, even though they shouldn't have had the position advantage. So Kaiser gets a kill on Zumba, gets pulse bomb. Eska rewinds for no reason. But meanwhile, they're overcommitting on Kaiser, and then Bumper's doing work in the background on this Diva. And Bumper's playing really well right now, actually. Eska kills Cox though somehow right now. Miro's just popping ults. They're going for this crazy skirmish. I'm not sure if I agree with it. I don't know why Miro popped his ult there. Eska down. Where you kills Haxel. Lunatic is just popping ults as they get them, which I guess is fine. Runaway's popping. That was a really bad sound barrier too. They're down 2 players, but it did force out Toby to pop his, but I think Toby just popped his as like insurance policy because if you're Lunatic Kai right now, you can't afford to lose this fight. Everyone's just hitting Q as they get it. Jaehong just died, but popped Nano as he died. Gets Who Are You in his last dying breath. So it works out for Lunatic Kai. A little awkward though from Runaway. Because Runaway is put in, after that sound barrier, when they started expending a lot of ults, it kind of puts them in a really bad spot for second point because you don't really want to have no ults for second point because you start losing your like engagement possibilities. Like right now, if you're Runaway, there's not much for you to do. You kind of have to rely on Stitch getting a crazy kill from behind, or you just kind of fall apart. Eska going for the sneaky pulse. Miro still on Winston. Eventually, Miro's going to want to switch, but Kaiser did use Shadow right before he died, so he's not even close to his zone now. I think Eska should have gone for the flank or something. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's not really helping his team right now. Although Jaehong goes for... Jaehong, dude. Unkillable. Toby and Jaehong are so good together. Animates the ground, keep himself alive, and then they amp heal. Look at him. He's almost full health. Didn't even get the health pack. That's a crazy individual play from Jaehong, actually. If he goes down there, this fight's completely different. And you don't, like, it's hard to tell what would happen after that, but... Eska missed another pulse bomb while we were watching that. Sleep. Ring around the Rosie. Hero kills Cox, though, with the primal. And a ult into Dragon Blade. Who are you popping off? I like. That Shatter needed to not be that Shatter.
That was a bit early on the ult there from Kaiser. Bit of an overcommitment again, maybe at the end of a point B, because now they're not going to have. So
now Lunatic Kai switches to a more stable composition. But Runaway still has this hog. Or they, I guess they only recently switched to hog, but the Roadhog versus no Roadhog is so hard to work because it's kind of hard to run nano blades on this point just because of how narrow it is. Like it's you kind of want a little bit more open space, I think, for Genji, but I guess you can nano boost Zumba alternatively too. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just Eska needs to hit a pulse bomb or something for them to open up a fight. How does he miss that? See, when I was watching this, like, this is what I was thinking, like, Eska's missing these pulse bombs so hard. If he hits that pulse bomb and Kaiser dies, like earlier, the fight's completely different. It was a clutch sound barrier to keep Kaiser up, but realistically, Kaiser should have been dead. Because that pulse bomb should have hit him. But, I don't know, man. Eska's, like, choking on the pulse bombs this entire night, or at least these maps. I'm hesitant to call him out because he does play very well in the end, but Stitch kills Miro with the pulse because they have no crazy hook. This is over. I mean, this fight's over anyway. I find it interesting that Runaway gets away with this. Like, Lunatic Kai tries to back up to save themselves a lot sometimes for no reason. Or I think, like, mistakenly tries to save themselves instead of running towards their spawn or dying quicker. Nano Boost comes down to Who Are You, gets the kill, maybe? Good whole hog, but reflected, unfortunate. I don't think it matters, though. Cox got his ult off. I mean, as long as you die and get the nano onto someone good, it's fine. Zumba has grab? Close. I guess if you're Eska now, you shouldn't really use your pulse. Although, I don't know. If you're Eska and you can get a free kill onto Kaiser, you should definitely go for it. They have no Zarya on defense. But I do feel like Eska is not getting a lot of value. This is probably one of those times where I think he probably should have just gone Mei. Like, there's very few points where I think Mei is good, and this is definitely one of them. Because the walls are super value on this point. It's really choky. That pulse bomb missed, hit the shield. That's really bad. Kobe popped sound barrier, Zumba doesn't have ult, and then I don't know what just happened to, I think it was a sleep dart onto Miro. And then that just transitioned into this. I don't know why Runner popped ult again. That fight was won, that Shatter won the fight. Too close.
This is just barely.
I could watch Kaiser all day, man. Just give me a highlight reel of this guy. I'll be happy.
Did Zumba's ult get reflected, or what happened to the Graviton?
For us here, Kaiser nailing the Earth Shatter.
Miro's turn to try to hit one himself, and that
Miro's getting bullied so hard.
Hoxall gonna take advantage.
Nano Blade, this is well played.
And Miro charging in, gets the kill onto Hoxall.
Miro's hit some pretty clutch pins this series. Like, that was a fight-saving pin for sure.
Long way to go, but they've got the kills to set up a push. Kaiser and Cox go down at a terrible time.
Honestly, if that pin doesn't come out, they probably get team wiped there and this fight's over. Cox comes back as a Reaper. This is pretty hectic, actually. Eska goes way too ballsy, dies. That's really bad.
With a crucial hook onto Eska. They need to make this work. Cox on the Reaper now. They better fear him. Bumper pushes back with a whole
This is still back and forth, but
Lunatic high. Now
positioning is just way better for Runaway. Clutch. Again, very tight map. They lost by like 5 seconds. It's like kind of weird to me because I do think that if you switched Runner with Toby or you switched Eska with Stitch, like either team would be incredibly good. At the same time though, Runner's their strat caller, so it's hard to replace him even if his ults are kind of bad. So he's in a weird spot because he probably does keep the team together, but his gameplay itself is not doing them any favors. I think anyway. Like, it's kind of impressive that they're winning these fights or these maps, even though their sound barriers are generally pretty off.